Okay, I think we're live on YouTube. I'm not sure though. We're gonna go live on TikTok right now. We're gonna see how this works. I'm not sure if it will though, but I hope that it will. Okay, hello everybody. We are live on TikTok and we're talking about why Donald Trump is the worst president ever. Personally, I feel this kind of self-evident. He is bad for our economy. He's bad for our society. He's bad for pretty much everything that made America great at one point. He ran out this message of "Make America Great Again" to reclaim our once great nation. The thing is, every single thing he does puts his country in a worse situation than it was before. Every single thing he does makes his country go downhill economically, socially, for our education, for our health. When he has RFK as our Secretary of Health and Human Services, he shows us that he doesn't care about our health because RFK is saying Tylenol causes autism, an insane statement to make. RFK is saying that vaccines hurt people. It's ridiculous. We need a good government. We need a government with politicians who actually want to help the people, who want to work for them. But what we have is a corrupt government with politicians who only care about working for themselves and giving themselves more power. We have a government that only works for billionaires and not for the working class. But I'm here to ask people why they think Trump is so good. If I should join the Trump train, I want to know why. I mean, if Trump's really the best president, they should be able to tell me why. And every single time we have somebody come up, I never get a good answer. I never get a reason for why, yeah, this is why I should support Trump. Every single time when somebody comes up, they say, oh, they like his economic policy. Then when we get into the economic policy, which is stupid because it's tariffs, which are obviously bad, they admit, yeah, they don't like Trump. They say that he aligns with their values. And usually these people have good values, but Trump doesn't align with good values. Almost all of Trump's policies actually hurt Americans on every single level. People want this country more safe, which I 100% agree with. The thing is, militarizing our cities, sending the National Guard to terrorize people, doesn't make our country more safe. Trump is doing terrorism. He's terrorizing the American people. And, Republicans standing by and cheering it on. This is ridiculous. Nobody should want our cities to be militarized. Nobody should want the National Guard in our streets. Nobody should want our education to be as politicized as it is and to have Donald Trump completely taking over every facet of our life. He is destroying our freedom of speech. I'm able to talk to y'all right now. I don't know how much longer it's going to be as TikTok is bought out by some of his cronies. Most media is owned by people who support Trump at this point. And so, the amount of free speech, regardless being taken away, is ridiculous. But now Trump is blatantly saying that he likes taking away people's free speech. With these attacks on Antifa, which is now a terrorist designated organization, which is a vague nothing term, Trump can designate anybody. And anybody's talking about why they don't like him as a terrorist, just because. Now, Bird, you said Trump is the best president. Tell me why. All I want to know is why you think Trump's a good president. Because I don't think he is. I think he's terrible. But if you can show me why I should join the Trump train, please do. And thank you so much to everybody who's giving me likes right now. I saw we got a few shares, which I really appreciate. Gifts are always appreciated, and follows. I'm a small channel trying to grow, so I really appreciate it if y'all help me grow. But Bird, you said Trump's the best president. Tell me why. Because it seems like every single time we take a look at his policy, we end up seeing that it hurts the average American. His tax cuts help billionaires a lot, but they hurt every single other American. What he's doing right now is holding the entire government hostage so he can make your healthcare more expensive by 75%. Trump's goal is to make your healthcare 75% more expensive. Thank you so much for the gift. I really appreciate that. It's ridiculous. Now, stopping foreign wars, he's absolutely not. Right now, maybe with Gaza and Israel, maybe he's pulling it off. But the thing is, Israel just attacked Gaza again. After saying that they're going to, finally just end the war, Israel just attacked Gaza again. He's not stopping foreign wars. He said he'd end Ukraine, Russia before day one. Has that happened yet? No, because he's a liar. And he doesn't know what he's doing in office. And he doesn't care about what he's doing in office. All he cares about is improving his wealth. That's why he's made $3.4 up to $5 billion since the start of his presidency. Explain how he's going to make my healthcare 70% more expensive. So by cutting Medicaid and by cutting the funding for healthcare across the nation, rural hospitals will close. That means that resources get more tight. That means more people are trying to get access to less healthcare. And as that cycle gets worse and worse, and as the knock-on effects get worse and worse, what the studies have shown is that these cuts will equate to 75% increases in your healthcare. And that's just not like a study. Those letters have already been sent out. People have already gotten letters that their healthcare is going to get more expensive by 75 to some like 114%. It's insane, and that's Trump's goal here. And the reason he's cutting those funds to Medicaid is so we can pay for the tax cut he's giving to billionaires. He doesn't care about the average American. He only cares about the rich. That's why at his inauguration, all the people standing behind him were the richest people in the history of the earth, not average Americans. You support Trump because I like men. If this is a guy saying that, I want you to recognize what you're saying. Not that like there would be anything wrong with that, but like, what does that even mean, man? You like men? I'm a man and I don't like Trump. Does that change your mind about things? Medicare is being abused a lot. You're right. You know who it's being abused by? People like Republican senator and leader of the Senate caucus, Rick Scott. Well, he's not the he is the leader of the Senate caucus, Rick Scott, who stole billions of dollars from Medicare and Medicaid. You know how it's getting abused? By not actually helping the people out of poverty, not actually fully giving the people all the health care they need and deserve. Medicaid is not being abused on the level that like Fox News wants you to believe it is, because they want to cut it to give tax cuts to the billionaire. That's why they're spreading that message. And even if it's getting the amount that is getting abused, we should stop that. It's bad to get abused. It's not worth cutting out all the good that it does. Just because a few people abuse it doesn't mean the rest of the people who rely on it to survive shouldn't continue to have that. I thank you so much, everyone in here. I got a gift. I got a follow. I really appreciate that. Thank you, A Duke. Thank you to A Duke, the peace sign, and Mike on the keys for staying in so long. I appreciate y'all. Let's see if we have anyone who wants to join the live. And we do. Let's go talk to them. I appreciate your side note. I heard you were going to court because your face card is lethal. Thank you. Smiling Sunglasses is in here. What's going on? What can I call you?
You're a nigger.
Yeah, I shouldn't have let him on. That was, yeah. Somebody report him. He's still in the chat. Hate speech. Great. Boom. Okay. Bye. Not very peaceful guy. Okay. Anyway, don't worry. Kamala wasn't a candidate. How about put him actual candidate up first to pick Trump? Okay. Two things. I hear you. I get what you mean. It's annoying, like, to feel like you would have to vote for someone you didn't really want to. But I gotta tell you, the entire electoral system is kind of set up that way. Like, most of the people who win the primaries aren't who we would have wanted to win, regardless. Second of all, just because you don't like one person doesn't mean you have to vote for the other. Trump is bad. He is also much, much worse than Kamala. I didn't love Kamala Harris. She wasn't my ideal candidate, but she would have been a fine president. Now we need much better. Like Zohran Mamdani obviously would be my ideal, or Bernie Sanders. Well, if he was younger right now. But that doesn't mean that Kamala Harris is the worst person ever. She would have made a fine president, especially compared to all of the other presidents we've had before, and especially compared to Donald Trump. So you did not have to vote for him at all. Harm reduction is what voting is. Unfortunately, sometimes it is, and it shouldn't be, but sometimes it is, which is why you have to get involved in your local areas now, before even but while the primaries are starting, so you can ensure progressive candidates are getting elected. The only way you can make sure that your views are actually shown is if you get involved directly and support candidates that have your views. Anyway, she would have not. Let's get people in. Thank you all for the likes and the follows and the shares. I really appreciate it. All right, Kelton, what is going on? How are you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. So, do you support Trump?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Why?
I like everything he's doing and what he's done so far as president. I like that he's secured the southern border. I like what he's doing geopolitically. I like some things he's doing here domestically at home. I like his push to try and stop crime.
So,
Those are just a
look,
few of the things.
we can get into any of those. What is your main concern, like with the state of American affairs, and why you like Trump? Why you think Trump's fixing that?
I mean, anything you want to talk about, man. It doesn't matter. I like I said,
You
I
said
just gave you
what
points.
domestic policy did you say that you liked? Like his economic policy?
Yeah, sure. His big beautiful bill.
You
And
like
I
what he's
like the
doing to
fact what he's
Medicaid?
doing right now. What he's just done geopolitically. Uh, he's
What has he done
stopping the war,
geopolitically?
and yeah, well, he stopped a number of wars already, but a pretty big
No,
one.
what wars?
They've got a ceasefire going.
No, they don't. Israel just bombed Gaza again.
No, you're actually wrong.
9 hours ago, man.
That's actually wrong.
Uh, I don't know
I
what to
mean,
say to
you'll
you.
watch any video and believe it, right? Is that where you saw it? You saw it on TikTok?
No, when it comes from Al Jazeera News, a very
Yeah, Al
respectable
Jazeera.
news
Right.
site. Hey,
Sure they are.
man, we're having a conversation here. You can't just deny reality like this. I get that we look at different news, but if I see Fox News covering something and they have like video of it and like they're talking about it, I'll listen to them. If I see CNN covering something, I'll listen to them. Like if
Right.
even Alex Jones, like if he has video of something, I'm gonna watch what he has to say. I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt. But if like Israel bombed a country, there is direct video of it, and we can see it, and respectable news sources, BBC,
Right.
report on it.
Okay. There's still a ceasefire in place, and the hostages are
But
coming back
if that
Monday.
ceasefire is not being followed, then it's not a ceasefire. And so he hasn't actually stopped the
I
war.
mean,
He just
obviously, you're
said
hoping
that he
that it's
stopped the
not a
war.
ceasefire. Clearly,
I
you hope it's not a ceasefire.
if you were here at the beginning and you could watch like the recording of it,
What's
I
your
was saying
source for that? Show me your source for that. Al
I
Jazeera is your
literally
source?
said Al Jazeera. Look it up.
That's
Israeli
not a
bombing October
reasonable
9th.
source. They
You're,
lie all the time.
no. I'm
They don't want
sorry.
peace, Al Jazeera.
They don't. You are wrong about that. You can't just deny reality, and you have to back that up with facts. If you can show me Al Jazeera
Either
lying,
way, man.
that no.
Either way,
You can't
they're
just
working
say
towards a
stuff.
peace deal.
They've been working towards a peace deal since the Nakba, since the 40s. Like
No, man.
that
Come
doesn't
on.
matter.
What are you talking about?
I just said
It's been an absolute disaster over the past few years.
it's been an absolute disaster since the Nakba back in the 40s.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Donald Trump could cure cancer, and you would not believe it.
Are you
or accept
serious?
it.
If Donald Trump cured cancer, I'd love that.
You would
That'd
what?
be fantastic.
You would say he didn't do it, bro. You're
Okay, first of
so
all, Donald Trump
anti-Trump, it's
won't cure
ridiculous,
cancer.
man.
He is defunding cancer research. First of all, he is the one thing you said would be the best thing you could do that nobody would deny. He's actually working against. He's right now defunding cancer research. Second of all,
Where? In the big beautiful bill?
yes, and
Where?
in his cuts to the NIH and his cuts to staffing and with the Doge cuts, there was a lot of cuts to research grants, which were cancer research.
Were useless research grants. You know nothing about. Name one of the grants.
Dude, just because I
Name
can't
one of the grants. You just brought research
I'm
grants.
muting you
Name
right. I'm
one.
muting you right now. I'm not going to be able to name the researchers and the exact
course.
title
Did
of.
you just say-
Dude, don't talk right now. You're on mute. You said something absolutely insane. I'm not going to be able to name the exact
No
research.
source for
Oh
that.
my
Show
good
me your
lord! I'm going to have to disconnect you. I'm going to have to disconnect you if you keep on talking.
Well, you're
You
just
just-
weak, man. You're weak. You're very low.
You're gone. Look, you just asked me to cite the specific research study. That's not how this works. Trump cut research to cancer, cut funding to cancer research. I'm not going to be able to name you the specific study, and if you don't talk to me respectfully, I'm not going to be able to have a conversation with you and have you on the show. Now, you need to listen to me. The one example you gave of the best thing Trump could do is fund cancer research, is cure cancer. That's the thing he's working against. And every single time I said something, you just flat out denied it with no evidence. And then when I said he's cutting cancer research, you said, oh no, that's bunk research. It doesn't matter. It wasn't going to work. You're not speaking sense. And I wanted to continue a conversation with you, but you weren't letting me because you kept on interrupting me. Now, if you want to call back up, I will talk to you again, but you have to be respectful and you can't just say ridiculous stuff. Okay, let's get more people on here. Thank you. Let me thank some of the people who've been on for a while. Oh, hi, Miss Sizzy. Nice to see you back. Hello, Patrick, Kit K, Micah, and Sean PP. Welcome up again. Host lost and kicked the guy. No, he was absolutely wrong. If you have any sense and looked at that objectively, you would see that he said nothing there of any merit. And I kicked him because he was being absolutely disrespectful and not letting me speak. There are multiple grants canceled. Yep, you're right. Okay, let's get on Sean. How are you doing again, Sean?
Hello?
The host has never said anything of merit. You got me. You threw my
Hello?
words back at me.
Hello?
Yo, Sean, we can hear you. What's going on?
What's up? I just wanted to talk about immigration.
Okay, what about it?
Yes. Do you disagree or agree with kind of deporting illegal immigrants and having a stronger border?
There is a severe problem with like a weak border in the country. Yeah, we need to take care of that. And then deporting illegal immigrants. If somebody does a deportable offense, deport them. The mass campaign to spend $45 billion building concentration camps and then deporting the people is ridiculous. It's both inhumane and inefficient. If we want to solve the problem of safety in the country and of too high housing costs and too low wages, there are ways to do it. And mass deporting people, spending our time on that, is not how you do it. Especially because immigrants are beneficial to this country.
Okay, so I'm assuming, do you agree with mass amnesty? Because if you don't agree with...
Sure, yeah. Mass amnesty is good.
Okay, well, I disagree with that, mainly because they would create a financial burden if they mass amnesty. Because most illegal immigrants are over 25 with little education, meaning that like lower paying jobs and stuff like that, they'll take like a lot
Okay,
of
wait, stop. They're already in the economy. Like, in fact, like I get, like I hear what you're saying. If we give them the proper documentation, then they can join unions. Then they can contribute to our society in much more meaningful ways than they already are. And in fact, our society can prosper even more. When we work together rather than separating ourselves, our society grows better and bigger and stronger than it could if we were just like shooing away people who are working in this country for the betterment of it. If a problem is that they're not paying enough taxes, which also illegal undocumented people actually pay more, and I'm not sure about that stat, but regardless, they add $7 to the economy for any dollar they take out of our social services. If we want to give them to like allow them to pay more taxes in an easier way, documenting them is how we do that. If we want them to be able to complain when wages are too low, so that all workers wages rise, then documenting them is how we do that.
Okay, well, how is it fair to the people who come in legally, like try to do that process, come in legally, and people who are already in the country who came in illegally, committed a crime, and they just get a free pass to...
So first of all, like going over the border isn't a crime in the same way like a lot of other crimes are. It's like it's a civil offense in most cases. Or being in the country illegal is a civil offense in most cases. Second of all, you're right. The immigration system right now is unfair, and we should fix that. That doesn't mean do more unfair actions to the people who are already here. That means make this system more fair. Do you know what the best policy is to improve the immigration system in this country? Fund it. Appoint more immigration judges. There's a severe lack of immigration judges in the country because they don't get paid enough, and there's a huge docket. That's why people take 3 to 4 years to get through the system if they do at all. And that's what causes people to want to come in here illegally. If we speed that system up, make it actually efficient, you get less illegal immigration. That's the single best way to stem the flow of illegal immigration.
Okay, so I just have one last question for you. So obviously you don't agree with how like Trump's getting rid of like illegal immigrants out of the country and stuff like that. But do you agree with the way he's creating a stronger border to where it was thousands of people coming in every day and now it's under 100? Like, do you agree with that?
No, because the way that he's doing it is, one, incredibly expensive. Like, he's spending $45 billion just on the concentration camps to deport the people alone. Not to mention the millions of dollars and the billions of dollars spending more on ICE itself, on the people there. So it's an incredibly inefficient way to go about this. Second of all, the way he stopped the flow is through terror. He said, if you come here, we are going to get you. We're going to, harass you the way that the ICE agents are. And kids are terrified to go to school right now because of it. Like in Hillsborough County, 5,000 students aren't there right now because they're scared to go. So no, the way he's doing it is causing massive amounts of harm, much more than illegal immigration ever has.
Mm. I mean, I would say that. I mean, the benefits outweigh the outweigh what's happening? Like the benefits of having only maybe 20 encounters at the border every day compared to thousands, and you don't think that? You don't think it outweighs
No,
what's
like
going on?
absolutely not. Any amount of torture is not okay. And if I don't know if you've looked at like the Amnesty International reports on what's happening in these camps, which by the way, we're spending enough money that we could just solve homelessness in the country. We could literally pay for every single unhoused person's rent for a year with the amount of money that we're spending on just building the concentration camps to deport these people. So no. Additionally, immigrants are good for this country. They always have been. That's how we prospered in the first place. Whether it was like forcibly immigrating people, like the slave trade, or now like getting people here because they want to come here. That's always how this country has prospered. And if we cut
Of
out
course.
a whole section of our workforce, not to mention like hurt families in the process and real people, then everybody suffers. And that's what we're seeing right now with some of the worst job numbers we've seen since 2009.
Well, I mean, of course, immigration is great for the country, but legal immigration is good. Illegal immigration is
Then what should Trump's policy be? We already discussed it.
okay. Well, in my opinion, I would say, it's unfair to kick people out and have such a hard system for them coming to the country legally. So, I mean, creating a better system for them to come in legally would be the best case. But I still think you shouldn't be in this country. You shouldn't, like, you committed a crime coming into this country illegally,
Not
and
necessarily.
I don't think.
How do most people get in here illegally?
I mean, during the Biden Harris administration, they crossed the border basically freely. You don't think so?
Overstaying their visa. That is how most people are in this country illegally. That's not a crime. That's a civil offense. And regardless, the best way to absolve that crime, which isn't hurting anybody, is to document them. If the problem is that they're not documented, document them, which we have to do anyway to deport them. But this way, the 99% of the people who are here for good reasons to support their family and to make this country better, we get to keep them in this country, keep them working their jobs. I mean, you just said immigration is good. What Trump is doing, deporting people and harassing them and treating them inhumanely, who should be here, who are helping this country, is terrible for everyone in this country.
I guess. And one more thing I want to say about the illegal immigration. I remember your live. You said it was like 2.5 or 2.7% more that like Americans will commit a crime than illegal. Right, something like
So
that.
the undocumented people commit 2.7 times less crime than the native
Yeah.
born population.
Yeah, and the thing I would say to that is that every single crime that an illegal alien commits is a crime that shouldn't have happened in the first place.
All
So
crimes are
I
crimes
mean,
that shouldn't have happened in the first place.
I get that, but
Well, no, so that's not an argument. All crimes are
it
crimes.
it
Every crime that a Hungarian person commits shouldn't have happened in the first place. Every crime that Trump commits shouldn't have happened in the first place.
I get it. But okay, then let me rephrase. What I'm saying is that if an illegal alien committed a crime, then that like
No, I
there
get what
never
you're
should have been
saying.
an
No, no,
opportunity
I
for a
get
crime.
what you're saying, and I, I do understand the point where you're saying. I know I was being like pedantic about that, but like you can literally make that argument for anything, and so it's not a good argument. Like when we're talking about people who have a track record of violent crimes, then yeah, you can say it's not safe to let them out in the streets. If somebody came into this country, like if somebody is undocumented in this country, that has no bearing on whether or not they're gonna commit a crime, and in fact, we see that fewer of them do, than the native-born population. So it's just like that argument doesn't hold.
Okay, okay, that's all I got.
All right, I really appreciate your conversation, man.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat. You're wrong, Ben. Bird, you've been chirping in here for the entire time. Cooked, I appreciate that. But he was a nice guy. Like he wasn't. He had an open mind. He was genuinely asking questions. I might not have changed his mind. I might not have, but he has things to think about now. That's all I care about when talking to people. Like Really, I don't like owning people. One, because I'm stupid and I can't do it. But two, because it doesn't mean anything. Like, what? Even if you own somebody, they're not gonna like take that to heart. All I care about is sowing seeds of doubt in people's like blind faith in Trump. Can we talk about Trump still funding WIC with tariff money? We're in this government shut. Yeah, yeah. He's funding. He gave Argentina $20 billion right before he shut down the government. Insane. I do admire calmness and composure. Other people shout over each other. Thank you. Now, sometimes I do lose my cool. It can't. I know. It can't happen though. But I was a public school teacher, so I got this. When you come into the country, commit a federal crime, your status can be revoked. Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. He can't make everyone happy. I can. Tristan, what is going on? Hello, everyone. Please like, subscribe, and share this. I'm a small creator trying to grow bigger. And Tristan, what is going on? How are you?
I'm good. So, I don't support Trump, but I do want to correct you on one thing. You said that undocumented immigrants commit 2.67 times less crimes. It's actually only 2 times. They're incarcerated half as much, not 2.67 times as much.
No, it was. First of all, I appreciate if you're right about this, thank you. Let me check.
That's incarceration rates, though. I don't know about overall crime rates.
No, because I was talking about overall crime rates. I literally just checked this yesterday because surprisingly, I always have to use the stat. Where was it? God, I've looked so much stuff up. My screen time is insane. If there's one really, really big problem, like across the world. I mean, there are a bunch of really, really big problems across the world. But it's screen addiction. Like, do you agree? Like, you're somebody who's clearly on their phone a lot. Do you think that screen addiction is a big problem in this country?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I get like 8 hours a day on screens. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. God, where is that? And like they're drugs. I mean, they're psychological drugs. Oh, here we go. Found it. National Institute of Justice. All right. In 2018, on average, the U.S. born citizen did about 1,000 crimes, a little over 1,000 crimes per 100,000 people, and undocumented people did about 400 crimes per 100,000 people, which is about 2.4 times. All right, so like a little bit less than what I said.
No, it's okay. I wasn't sure what you were talking about. I was talking about incarceration rates, but you're doing great, man.
I appreciate it. Tell everyone to like, subscribe, and share.
Like, subscribe, follow, share, all of it.
Thank you very much. All right, have a great day, man. Okay, now let's get people in here who hate me and want to prove me wrong about everything. That guy got owned. I showed him up. Okay. Multi-guess, where is it? We have, is that Jit coming up? I'm sorry if that's not your name, but... Hello, what is going on? What's your name?
Hang on,
Yeah, we got a lot of noise going on there.
Yeah, sorry, I was turning it off. What's up? I'm lit.
Oh, lit. Okay, that makes more sense than Jit. All right, what's going on? Why do you support Trump?
Yeah, I support Trump because I think Democrats are fucking crazy.
Okay, well, so you can think Democrats are crazy and still not support Trump. I mean, so we can either talk about why you think Democrats are crazy, or we can think about why you support Trump.
I think we can start with why I think they're crazy, I guess, and then we can talk about how that leads me into supporting Trump.
All right. And by the way, like I actually ran for office as a Democrat, but I don't like the Democrats. I think parties are terrible, and I think both parties are bad. But I think the Republicans are obviously much worse. Just to be clear about where my stance is here. But go on.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. One reason I guess that Democrats I think are fucking crazy is because I think they like to unalive kids. I think that's kind of fucked up.
So, is abortion your primary concern?
No, that's just the first reason I started with.
So there's a really big distinction that we have to make when talking about with abortion. I get what you mean when you see it as like unaliving kids. Trust me. Like I know I see that point. I'm not like I understand where you're coming from in this. But the thing is, you're never obligated to use your body as a life support machine for someone else. even if there was somebody who was fully alive, had full experiences, like even if I hurt them, it was connected to an IV with them that would help them to survive. I'm not obligated to give my body to that person, and so we can't use the state to force people into doing, using their body as a life support machine.
What theory of obligation are you using?
Sorry, 1 second. Dave said Hassan clone. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Anyway, sorry. What theory of obligation am I using? Man, look, I have like my Nicomachean ethics up there, my rules-based laws and utilitarianism back here. We don't like. It doesn't have to. We don't have to like.
It does.
Lay out
You're
that.
saying that X. You're saying X isn't obligated towards Y. I'm saying X is obligated towards Y. So what theory of obligation
Okay,
are you
you
using?
have
Are
to
you a
prove
pluralist?
why. No. I'm
Actually,
saying that
don't.
somebody's
You made the
bodily
positive claim.
autonomy. I'm saying that somebody's bodily autonomy is a right that cannot be subjugated, cannot be subverted, and that even somebody's right to a life does not go over somebody's right to their own body.
Yeah. What's the argument for that?
That's it. That's the argument. What I'm
No,
saying is
that's-
that your
that's the
bodily
proposition.
autonomy. No. I'm saying that the government regulating what people can do with their body is Jesus Christ. I'll flip around right here. The right to bodily autonomy supersedes right to life, and you can't use somebody else's body for your own personal gain. That's it.
Yeah, that's the proposition you've offered. I'm looking for motivations to believe that the proposition is true.
Dude. You have to say why that would be wrong, why we can't do that.
It's actually not true, but since you want a burden shift really bad, I'll just accept the burden shift. But just so you know, yeah, you
Oh my
didn't
good
give an
Lord.
argument, and you should have given an argument. But
I gave you an argument.
no, you gave me a proposition that's unsubstantiated. But anyways, the argument that I have is just simply if the fetus is a person, the abortion generates a prima facie or at least a seritus paribus wrong, and then you modus ponens that out.
Okay, dude, I'm not gonna I did take a logic class, but I'm not gonna pretend I know all of those words. Like, we can either have a discussion or we can try to bring your philosophy to
Yeah,
it.
I can break them down for you. Right? Like I can explain what I mean if you're confused on something. Now, you did say that you have Nicomachean, you have utilitarian
Holy
books.
sh- dude,
and
dude,
all that.
dude.
All of that's relevant.
Okay, great.
Right? So
Talk
I
to me
feel
like
like
a person.
I feel like I can use this language because you have the books that use that language. But I guess if not, then all I'm saying is
Yeah,
that
no, like, as in, I'm versed in it, but what I care about primarily is economic and political theory. Like, I like ethics and
That's fine.
everything, and I have a good background in it, but I'm not going to know all of these terms just when you're throwing them out like that.
Sure. So all I mean is when I say prima facie, for example, is two things. The first thing is that I think that there's an inherent moral weight when it comes to unaliving persons that makes the action seem wrong on its face. And then the second thing is just that although the action isn't absolutely wrong in virtue of possible circumstances that can override it, like self-defense or accidental harms or something like that, all I'm saying is that abortion being a prima facie wrong is just that I don't claim absolute prohibition, only that there's a moral reason against it, which has to be justified a way to permissibly do it.
Okay. Thank you for talking to me like a person. Sure, I get that. And
Yeah.
I think it's not a moral good to do an abortion necessarily. It can have positive benefits for the person, but it doesn't make abortion a moral good. But the government, it takes all liberties and it gives reasons to negate them. And so what you're saying is the reason to negate abortion is because it is taking away the life of a being. What I'm saying
Of a
is that
person.
huh?
Of a person, not a being.
It doesn't matter. I think taking the life of anything is wrong, regardless. I think taking the life
do you take the
is
view?
bad.
Okay, do you agree with the argument?
No, because I'm saying that the government can't restrict that right. Because the right to your bodily autonomy does supersede that. You're right. This person has a right to their life. Even if we want to call them a person, that's fine. They do have a right to your life. But your body, you're not obligated to give your body for that for any reason.
Okay,
Just because they have a right to that
let's
doesn't
just
mean
get-
that supersedes your right.
I think this is a non sequitur, so I want to get super linear. Okay,
Sure.
so premise one is just that if the fetus is a person, then the abortion is a prima facie wrong maker. Do you reject that premise?
By wrong maker, you're saying this is something that could be wrong, in which case, sure, it
No,
could be
something
wrong.
that is wrong. No, something that
No.
is wrong
So
on its face.
abortion isn't simply wrong. No.
Okay, so you reject premise one. You don't think that the abortion is a prima facie wrongmaker.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and then the reason why it's not a prima facie so again, the argument is saying that if it is a person, then it's a prima facie wrongmaker. You reject that unaliving persons is a prima facie wrongmaker.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the argument for that is just that persons across all respected theories seem to, at minimum, posit maybe that an essential aspect of a person is that they're an entity with moral status. So what satisfies that entity's moral status is going to be indexed to an exemplification of properties, qualities, traits.
Are you
which
literally
seemingly-
reading this like off a script, dude?
No,
like-
I've delivered this argument 50 times now.
Okay,
Please
it
don't
sounds
interrupt me
rehearsed,
until I get
and like
rhetorical.
you're not talking like a person.
Yeah, I've said
Like,
it 50
have a
times.
conversation
Yeah,
with
this
me,
is going to
man.
be my 51st time giving this argument. Okay.
Great,
So-
dude. Like, look. I think
I
it is
can- I
bad to
can,
kill a
like,
person.
go
It can both
outside.
be bad
I
to
can
kill.
go outside and then I can turn my camera on and just point it at my feet, so you don't think I'm reading off something.
I
if you
don't
wanna use that
care. I don't.
rhetorical point.
like. It was. I don't care that you're reading off script. You're just reading a memorized thing, which is practically the same thing. So like
My argument.
whatever.
Yeah, I memorized my argument.
Yeah, okay,
Are you
great. I understand. Listen to me, man. Like, I
Uh-huh.
get what you're saying. I think killing a person is always bad. That doesn't mean the act of abortion is always wrong. That's
Okay, see,
because it
that's-
has other consequences beside that,
I'll
and
let
it
you
is
finish.
dealing with other rights besides that person's right to life.
Okay, thank you. So none of what you said there actually addressed the problem. Okay,
It
the problem
literally
is that
did. It literally did.
Okay,
I
I'll let
showed
finish.
you why it is not always wrong. Why it's not a prima facie wrong maker.
Let me know when I can respond uninterrupted. Thank you. You have really bad self-control. Now,
No, I
what
don't.
was
This is my
trying-
broadcast, and if I want
Oh.
to talk over somebody, I can because I'm
Please
controlling the
control
conversation
yourself.
here. No,
Act
I
like an
am
adult and
controlling
control yourself.
myself. I'm not like irrationally emotional right here.
Okay, let me know
This
when
is
I
my
can talk again.
I will. This is my broadcast, and I'll control the conversation because people who like to just take off on whatever tangents and need to be stopped to address a point need to be stopped, or else I let people control the broadcast. Please speak.
Okay, now that we're over the gibberation, all I was trying to say there, and he wants to pretend like it's an obfuscation, is just simply that if all the premises of my argument are true, then not only is the argument valid, but it's sound. So if the premises of my argument are true, then the abortion is a wrong action. Now, he wants to say that there's further considerations in terms of consequences, things of that sort. Those kinds of things can challenge a particular premise. However, he's not used it in such a way that attacks a particular premise. Instead, what he's trying to do is not be
Okay, you're
linear
muted, right? You're getting
and actually
stop. You're
address-
getting muted right now. I told you. I laid it out exactly in your terms. That because there are other consequences and other rights to be considered, premise one, that's a prima facie wrongdoing, which like I immediately addressed and actually addressed even before you laid that out as your specific premise. I said that was wrong. It's not a prima facie wrongdoing because of these other considerations. You're wrong in what you just said.
No,
Now
I'll
speak.
explain why I'm not wrong. What is a prima facie wrongmaker?
God, Jesus Christ. All right, dude, you're gone. Like, you're not having a real conversation with me. All right, I appreciate everyone sticking around here for this. Thank you so much to who's been here long. M. Sizzy, El Cruz, Lola Chame, John Jewel, and Gato. I appreciate all for staying in here so long. And let's get Sulfa Surf on here. Wait, sorry, 1 second, Sulfa Surf. Look, the reason I cut you off here is because you're not having a real conversation with me. First of all, I laid it out incredibly clearly. How, like, the entire argument. And every single time you just ignored it and continue on with your script. Like, that's why I cut you off. You need to be taught a lesson sometime. All right, Salsa, what's going on?
All right, can you hear me?
Yep.
So I'll tell you why I support Trump. First off, I didn't support Trump when he first ran. And I'll just tell you a couple things that I don't like about Trump just to show you that I'm not diehard Trump because everyone is usually on one side or the other. So
Let me
the
say something real
first
quick.
thing is, what's
I
that?
appreciate that. I really appreciate that because like I appreciate people coming here with an open mind and willing to say like he's not perfect, but this is why I like him because that's just what I want to hear, like what the reason is. So please continue. Sorry.
So the first thing is I didn't like when he developed the vaccine and wanted to make everyone take it. That's authoritarian. I think that's bullshit. I didn't like that at all. So that's number one.
Can I ask a
number-
question real quick?
Yeah.
Does that same logic apply to what he's doing right now?
As far as what?
Like the National Guard in our streets and like designating Antifa as a terrorist organization?
Okay, so you want to get right into that. So,
Well,
Um,
you see the connection though, right?
no, I'll go there. So let me ask you this. When George Floyd did his thing and the cities were burning to the ground and Kamala Harris raised money and bailed people out of jail for lighting police stations on fire, letting people take over Seattle, let Antifa direct traffic, let 27 to 30 something people died. No one did anything about that. Is that
Okay.
the same thing, like them just letting
So first of all, the National Guard was there, right? Like the National Guard did stop a lot of the protests, right?
no, you remember they had
No, sir. That
Yeah.
did happen. There were a lot of National Guard and police at a lot of protests. In my neighbor, in Tampa, we actually had tanks out on the street for no reason. Actually, from the USF Police Department, it's crazy that my university has tanks. Regardless, they were out there. Biden absolutely. Sorry, it was during Trump. It was during Trump. He absolutely sent the National Guard and police out there.
No, I'm talking when they took over Seattle and they had the whole place was taken over. They wouldn't even let police in there, and Antifa was in charge, and they were burning down police stations. They were firebombing.
Yeah.
Lawyers were firebombing cop cars.
I don't like people who are firebombing stuff. I agree with
I
you.
agree.
That's of course bad. And like I know you've heard this a bunch. I know. But it's true. A vast majority, 95% of the protests. Sorry, the stat is actually 98 were entirely peaceful, and for a majority of any violence that happened, it was done by cops first.
You gotta remember this.
Wait, please listen. Wait, I'm sorry. Please listen to me.
Go ahead.
This is why like I brought it to what's happening right now. You can see every single day new videos coming out of ICE agents and National Guard's men harassing people, like shooting people, and
I will speak exactly to that for you. Okay.
okay.
Is it authoritarian? Absolutely. There's your first answer. Do you feel good about that?
I do. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll also say this. Think about it this way. When Obama, and you got to remember, when Biden opened the border wide open, how many people do you think came over the border in your estimation?
Obama was the deporter in chief. He
No,
deported more people.
I
than
know
anyone.
that. I know that. How many did Obama deport?
Wait, man. We're jumping from like
Wait. I'm just.
I
I'm
think he
getting to it.
deported not 2 million. I'm not
3
sure.
million,
800,000.
3.3
3 million,
million
really?
roughly.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so what I'm saying is remember when Obama was doing that, the media is all against Trump except for Fox, which I don't even watch Fox. I don't trust Fox either, but the media is against Trump. We all know that. Come on, let's be real.
Well, no, because wait.
Anyway, you're
Yeah,
wrong
wait,
about
no,
that.
wait. No, let me make a clear point. Like,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
of course. Like they all crap on him all the time. Yes, they also were the reason why he won in the first place. Because if he didn't get the attention they gave him because he was so good for the ratings, he wouldn't be as popular as he was. So
Okay.
like
I
yes,
would agree
they
with
don't
that.
like Trump, but also their bosses are some of his biggest supporters. So
Anyway, when Obama was doing all the deportations, ICE wasn't an issue. ICE wasn't like a thing. You didn't hear people going crazy about ICE. You got to admit that the media is all about making Trump number one enemy. And when Obama was deporting everybody, ICE, people didn't like ICE. Believe me, I'm from California. Now I live in Florida. I'm very familiar with how Latinos think. I salsa dance. I go out with people from Univision. All my friends, most of them are Latinos. So I'm very familiar with them. When Obama was doing it, he wasn't the enemy. When everyone talks about it, they weren't the enemy. When Trump does it, he's the enemy. And all they do is talk about Trump.
Okay.
And they're doxing ICE agents, which is scary.
okay,
And think
so
the guy that
wait,
just-
wait, no, wait,
Go ahead.
because I'm sorry, just like we have to like stick. Like I want to address what point you're making.
Go ahead.
So first of all, we were saying with nobody complained about what Obama did. Well, then you said yes, people did, because of course people did. People were mad about ICE kidnapping people and holding
Barely.
children in cages. It wasn't as
The
big,
children
but
in
also,
cages, they said Trump
man,
did.
please. You're right. they didn't address the children cases when Obama was doing it, and when
Yes,
Clinton
you're right.
was
Thank
one of the
you.
first people to. Yeah, the media in general has been terrible for a very long time. The Democratic Party hasn't been on the side of most people enough in a long time, and I just think the Republicans are even worse. That's like basically my stance. Now with this immigration stuff, you're right. We didn't yell at the people who are doing it badly enough the first time. That doesn't mean that Trump is good. Additionally, because he's doing the same stuff but worse. Additionally, he's doing the same stuff but worse, and that's why people are so mad at him. And you're right that it seems like the media is just all against Trump, but that's because almost everything he does is straight up evil, man.
Okay, so
And
let's
like
talk about
his
that.
his
Let me
goal.
address that.
Address it, but I'm
Go
gonna make
ahead.
one more point about it. Like it's directly related. I mean, who was Steve Bannon? Steve Bannon literally said their strategy is, all like basically media warfare, do everything all the time, do as many crises as simultaneously as possible, and do the most evil things that people can think of, so that basically nobody can hold him to account for anything. That's his plan. And so like when the media falls for it, like yeah, they seem like they hate him. But that's because he's doing terrible stuff. Now,
Okay. Now can I talk?
yes.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about this. First off, Donald Trump, and believe me, I didn't used to be political. And then I had a political YouTube channel. Then I quit because people are insane. But
Yeah, you're telling me.
let's talk about racist Donald Trump. Racist Donald Trump, who was given an award by the
didn't say that.
Rainbow. No, I'm just saying that's what they called racist Donald Trump, given an award by Rainbow Coalition, tried to get Jesse Jackson elected. And everything he did during his presidency, even YouTube takes it down where you can't show everything that Trump's done for the black community. That's number one. Number two, Russiagate. Russiagate was fake for 2 years. The media was like, Russia, Russia, Russia. It was all fake, all of it. Who put it together? Hillary Clinton. I don't know for sure if Barack Obama did it, but definitely Hillary Clinton.
I'm sorry, look. I want to make a really clear point here. Like I've been addressing every single point you've been making, and then like when you speak, like you go on more stuff, and like I get that we have like a lot to talk about.
No, but
like,
you're saying
I get
evil.
That.
That's a coup.
I know. Please,
Give me 1 sec. I know you're the host, but let me get to one thing. You talked about how evil Trump is. And now I'm telling you how the Democratic Party is evil by literally trying to do a coup on a president who won an election via Russiagate. That's a coup, where they basically tried to get rid of him because of Russiagate, right?
So first of all, he had aides that were directly tied to Russia. There's a lot of very clear and
Whether
obvious
he was
information
tied to
there.
Russia, Russiagate was fake, right? Or
No, because he's like very open. Like
Wait, time out.
he's even
Yes or
openly
no?
colluding with Russia.
Wait, time out. You can't get away with this one. Yes or no? Was Russiagate fake?
Look, I don't even
Wait,
really.
time
No,
out.
stop. Wait, I'm answering your question.
Okay,
I don't
I'll
really
listen.
know much about Russiagate. Like
Okay,
I
wait,
know
time
there's
out,
a lot
time
of
out.
info
Why
about it.
don't you know
I
about
have
Russiagate?
look, man. I get that it's an important topic to you. Like I get it, but to me, it's a whole media narrative that like just divides people. And like I don't know the truth. You don't know the truth.
Yes,
None of
wait,
us-
time out.
Stop.
It was in front of Congress. You're wrong.
No,
They had-
because the Trump, Pam Bondi, a very corrupt liar, just like released these dumb, things that Obama was making these false things about Trump. Look, there's a lot of misinformation there, which is why I'm not really sticking my nail into my feet into it. The point that I was
am.
making, I get it. But if that's what you want to talk about, that's not what I want to talk about on this show.
No,
One
but
of the
you're
reasons is because I can't have an educated conversation with you about it. Whatever you say about it, I would just have to be looking up right now, and like that's not gonna be an entertaining show. So like,
Okay, so let's do this. Because you said Republicans are evil. And I'm going to tell you. So
I didn't say
first
Republicans, I
off-
said Trump.
Okay, you're saying Trump's evil. What about the when Trump got arrested for, and I'm not even gonna get into why those 34 felonies are bullshit. I won't get into how much of it was bullshit, but I will get into this. Let's just assume you're looking down, but I'm gonna let you win this argument, and then I'm gonna ask you the real question. Let's assume that those 34 felonies, which were bullshit because I looked over all of them, let's assume they're right and you're right. Them, when they arrested his lawyers, do you think that was right when they arrested his lawyers.
Well, his lawyers have done a lot of crime, and Trump has thrown a
Oh,
lot of them
see,
under the bus
that,
for
that
doing
you,
crime.
That you
Uh,
can't say, wait, time out. That you can't literally sit there and tell me that that's not a Gestapo tactic to arrest lawyers that are fighting for you to stay out of prison.
if they're doing
You
crime,
gotta
they
admit
should be
that's
arrested.
insane.
If
What?
they're doing if they're doing crime, they should be arrested. Like that's the end of
Dude,
the story.
they didn't do crime. You
Yeah,
can't
okay,
admit that.
all right, man, all right. Look,
No,
look,
you're-
look, look,
you're
look.
getting
No,
off
no,
the-
no, no. We're talking past each other. It's clear we're not going to have a good conversation here. I've been trying to get you back to like the earlier points, but you're not going.
Okay, get back to the earlier. You said we're evil, or Trump's evil. I'm trying to say you guys are evil for arresting Trump's
Look.
lawyers.
You're talking about the Department of Justice validly arresting people who have done crimes. And again, like this was so long ago. Like this is when I was a kid. I don't have all the information on this. I can't give you the most educated like I just can't give you the most educated answer in all this, like laying out it all frame by frame, because it's just not a saga that I have memorized. But you're focusing on this rather than Trump literally creating a Gestapo. And you already said that was authoritarian. Like you already said that was bad. And like the fact that you're focusing on that stupid thing and saying
I didn't say it was all bad. I said it was authoritarian. And by the way, I can have a discussion. I'm just saying is if you're sitting here on your channel being asking people why they support Trump, believe me, every conservative that are my friends, and believe me, I believe in abortion, I believe in gun control, I'm ex-military, I'm an ex-paratrooper, I'm a 3-time combat vet. My friends don't like me because of my views on gun control. Some of my conservative friends don't like me because of abortion. I can tell you I have a very open mind. But that you gloss over things that are very big deals, like a coup and like arresting Trump's lawyers when they were only helping him.
I understand
big
it's
deal.
very look, I'm talking to you here. I'm not
I appreciate that.
I understand that it's important to you. What I'm saying is I can't have an educated conversation with you on it right now. I'm going to do more research about it so I can have a better
appreciate
educated
that.
conversation in the future about it. But like from the research that I've done in the past, and I just don't memorize all of it, that was valid. But I can't have an educated conversation with you about that. Okay?
Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, let's ask another question. What about transitioning kids?
No,
I'm from California.
dude. Okay, no, dude. I'm sorry. We went
What?
from like immigration to
We're talking about
authoritarian.
evil. I'm still on
no,
evil.
dude.
I'm still on
No. Because we had to stick to a point every single time. I wanted
Okay,
to
what
stick to a
point do you
point.
want to
We
discuss?
moved on. Well, okay.
What
Let's pick
point do
one.
you want to
All right.
discuss?
We can either talk about how his authoritarian actions right now with ICE are bad, and with the National Guard are bad. We can talk about what was the last thing we were discussing. Well, whatever. We discussed that for a little while. Or we can talk about trans rights. Would you rather talk about ICE or trans rights?
Let's talk about trans rights.
Okay. All right. And we're going to stick to
Okay.
this one.
And I'm going to tell you something very interesting about me. That's gonna let you know I have a very open mind. A long time ago, I saw a documentary. I won't say about all the documentary, but I said, you know what? That'd be a good movie. I wrote a movie about it. It's a trans movie. I've actually wrote a trans movie about a kid in high school meets the hot cheerleader. She's trans. Okay, that was like 15 or 20 years ago. It's called Make Your Move. I wrote it a long time ago.
Go watch
So I
it.
have-
Where can we stream it?
No, it's not in the movies. I'm saying is I
Oh.
wrote it. I have a script. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
I have no
If we have a
problem with-
producer in the chat, come on, let's get working.
Yeah, bring it on. It's a good. It's funny as hell, and it's like American Pie. If you might be too young to know that movie.
I know.
Anyway,
American Pie.
so here's
Also,
what
somebody
I
in the
think-
chat said I was 30. I'm 23. Chill. Anyway, go on.
You're 23.
Yeah.
Okay, so that now I understand why you don't know some certain things. Okay,
I was literally
so-
a child when the Russiagate stuff was happening.
Okay.
Like, it's just not a saga that I have memorized.
Okay, I you should look into it. But okay, let's get into it. So, trans rights. First off, I have no problem with trans. I took my buddy to a place called the Queen Mary in California. It's a trans club for his birthday. I did that we've done that twice. We've been to the Queen's Mary. I have gay friends, and when people say I have gay friends, you're like thinking, oh, they don't have gay friends. Whatever. I don't know how to defend that. But I'm just saying is I've never had a problem with any trans. But let's think about this. Why is everything that trans people disagree with a problem? So let's think about this. They boycotted Chick-fil-A. Just leave them alone. And why?
That's literally them leaving. Oh, Sorry, one second.
That's okay.
Ah, Christ. I'm apparently a robot right now. I have to prove that I'm a
okay.
human. Okay, man. Boycotting is literally them organizing themselves to
No,
leave
wait,
them alone.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is imagine if you boycott trans people, which we have, and then we're transphobic. What conservatives want, and it's very basic. Conservatives, everyone's welcome. We don't care who you are, everyone's welcome. You may not think that, but it's true. We don't care who you are, everyone's welcome. Here's what we agree on.
Can I
If
pause
you
you real
wanna
quick?
be-
I'm
What?
sorry, I'm sorry. Is it true that that's what every conservative wants, or is that what
No,
you want?
no.
This is what you want. This is what you care about.
I'm okay with that. Yes. I won't
So
speak for
you're
every
describing your position.
Yes, absolutely. So when it comes to trans, be trans all you want. The thing that bothers me, number one, is men should never be in women's sports. That's number one. They fought for their rights. Don't laugh and just get down.
I'm
Just
not. I'm
listen.
not laughing. It's just it's the past week I've had this conversation a lot.
It's
my
okay.
own thing.
It's okay. So why men are in women's sports is unbelievable to me, because what it comes down to is women have fought for rights their whole life. And I just saw a volleyball team the other day where they had four men on the volleyball team, and all
okay.
the girls were sitting on the bench.
Look,
Go
there
ahead.
are very, very few trans people in sports like this. It's just
okay.
not a thing. It's not a thing that happens very often.
Let's just
Now,
assume.
look, stop.
It's funny. how
Even
you
if it
always
happened,
talk. Go ahead.
even if it happened, no, I'm trying to talk to you calmly. Even if it happens once, I can see why I think that's bad. Like, even just the one time is not the problem. That's happening so much. It's like even once. I get it's the principle about it. Sure, whatever. Like this isn't a big deal to me. Like, the way that this has been used as like the primary targeting point against like, this whole community is just ridiculous. And it's like I don't care that much about college or high school sports. I really don't. I think that if we care that much about the the amount of testosterone or estrogen that they have, there's a wider variation within a gender than between two within a sex than between two sexes. So like the argument doesn't even hold like basically. But like, and people aren't transitioning to do better in sports. But like, whatever. It just
Okay,
it
so-
shouldn't be like this big of a topic of conversation.
Okay, so let's talk about and let me speak a little bit, because you keep interrupting me when I'm trying to get into something. So I will give you that. Okay, I agree with you for the most part. I'm like, okay, but it is a big deal when the Supreme Court justice says, I don't know what a woman is. It is a big deal when you have kids. Wait, hold on. That you roll your eyes is weird.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, hold on one sec. Let me get to it. That you have kids in college that don't know there's two genders. And yes, do I know that you can have a small, teeny bit of people that have both genitalia? Yes. But the kids really don't believe there's only two genders. And then you'll ask them, can I be black? No, you can't be black. Why can't I be black? When being black is easier than being another gender. Wouldn't you agree? I could be black
what
a lot
is a
easier than
gender?
being
What
another gender.
what does gender mean?
I'm just talking male and female. Let's just
Okay, so what is male and female? What's that?
X and Y chromosome.
No, that's your sex. What's
Yes.
gender?
See, you're programmed, because let me say this, and you're going to roll your eyes, but young people like you've been programmed to think that gender and sex are different. When you're born, I
You're right.
guarantee you, I could walk into a nursery probably 100 out of 100 times ago, male, female, male, female, male, female. And now you guys are okay with little kids transitioning.
No,
When-
no, man. You're taking this like way off. I
Okay,
just
we're
asked you
talking
what
about
gender
trans.
for sex
It's
is,
not way off.
and then you took this. I asked you what gender for sex is, and then you said I want little kids transitioning. There is a hell of a lot of middle ground there, right?
Okay, so
Okay.
answer me this.
So
Is
what?
there a
so-
difference between male and female? Yes or no?
Of course. That's why we have two different
Okay.
words for it.
Okay, so if there's male and female, why are so many kids living in this wonderland where they think there's more than a male and a female and they can be anything? And
So
you literally
wait.
have
First of all, no, let's stick to that. Is there more than just male and female?
no.
Do intersex people exist?
Yes, it's a
So
tiny
1.7%
subsection.
of the
That's why I wrote
population,
my
the same
movie.
amount, that has red hair, the same amount that has red hair.
No, much
Yes,
less.
1.7%. I trust me, I know this. Now, so that's 1.7% of the population that is not strictly male or female already. So that binary is out the door. Now, but however, that is a very strong binary. Now, you keep on using the terms male and female. We also
Yes.
have the terms man and woman. Man and woman are the gender. Male and female are the sex. And you said your generation is programmed to believe, there are multiple genders. You're right. Your generation is programmed to believe that there aren't. And there were generations before us that were programmed to believe different things. That's because gender is an idea. Back in the
Okay.
1800s, men would wear high heels. We would consider that cross-dressing and transitioning now. But I'm sure you would know that back in Greco-Roman times, men used to have sex with each other. That wasn't considered gay or anything.
Then do now. What are you talking about?
No, I know. Our definitions of like gender and man and woman or what kind of sexuality is have changed over time. Gender is a concept. Male and female, those are anatomical realities. Like sex is a thing. Gender is an idea.
Okay, so let's think about it this way. And give me a little latitude for a minute because you're so stuck on this gender thing. I'm going to make it very easy. I could show you, there's so many videos, and I've had a few experiences, but the other day there's a big fat guy with a bra on and panties on that walked in a girl's bathroom, and they're kicking him out. And this is a big fat dude. Wait, don't roll your eyes or give me some disgust. That's horrible. You have a guy that went into a girl's bathroom, did some things to girls. The father went in there to defend his daughter into the school, whatever you have, the school meetings. The cops arrested the dad. They took that kid, sent him to another school. He assaulted another girl. So the big deal is you have men going into women's bathrooms, and trust me, there's a conservative. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. Blair White.
Oh,
Blair
God.
White.
Yeah, I know her.
Okay, Blair White looks like a woman. Lots of these guys that are going to little girls' bathrooms
Oh wait, no, I don't know who you're talking about.
are
That's somebody else.
dudes.
Listen to me,
You know,
listen to me,
so-
man. Listen to me, man. This is a
Is that a
specific
problem?
thing. Stop.
Yes or no?
Stop.
Stop. Wait, you
That
stop. Is that a problem?
stop.
Yes
I'm
or no?
answering your question. Stop talking.
Okay,
over
go
me.
ahead.
That guy is, of course, a monster and should be dealt with. And
Okay.
there is a consistent push to connect trans people to sexual assaulters. Trans people commit much less assault than the general population, even less than pastors do on average.
I don't think you can even say
yes.
that. But
No,
I
no, no,
do
no.
agree-
You can look
I-
those
wait, hold on
statistics
one
up.
sec. I
And
do agree
so-
that many pastors do rape kids. I do believe that.
Okay.
So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, but let's control the language a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Well, it's I don't want censorship, but like that word specifically.
No, I
it's fine. It's
apologize.
fine. But yeah. So when we focus on this issue for trans people specifically, it's ridiculous because they don't do an outstanding amount of crime like this. And throughout history, there's always been propaganda against the LGBTQ community. But there's like that famous PSA back in the 50s that said, "Oh, there's the gay scare, and all these guys are going to go after your kids." Like it's the same thing happening over and over again. Because anytime there's some sort of sexual deviance that people see, they connect it with sexual assault, which just isn't true.
Okay, so hold on one sec, and let me speak because, boy, you're really not paying attention. So there's been multiple parades where men are walking around nakeds and they have boners in front of kids. You're rolling your eyes and stuff, but it's true. There's
Individual acts
Hold on.
are
I
bad.
let you speak. Let me speak. In Washington, a guy was walking with his boner right with his hard on, whatever you want to call it,
What the-
in front of a little kid, and the cops came up and said they can't arrest the guy. Now, when you have people doing deviant behavior in parades where they're naked and it's happened multiple times, it's becoming more deviant because it's becoming more acceptable.
No, because that's not gay or trans culture.
I didn't say that was pure trans.
That's
I'm
where
saying
you're
it's
no,
deviant.
sir. Look, you are saying the more we accept like this trans, the more this stuff will happen. That's not a part of being trans or a part of being LGBTQ or anything. That's some guy who's weird. Just like there are a bunch of straight guys who are weird. Just like there are a bunch of whoever people that are weird. And
Okay,
we
so
happen
just
to see that there are less assaulters in the trans community than most
I
other
disagree with
communities.
that. I don't think
You're
you have
wrong.
any. They haven't done any study on that.
Yes,
I
they have.
mean, no, they haven't. I mean, the media hides so much from. I hate to say it, a lot of liberals don't know about a lot what's going on. I could give you one.
Most
huge
people
example
don't
that's going
know
on.
anything about what's going on. Well, yeah,
Well,
of course.
a lot of people don't. You're right. But okay, let's talk about this. It's very basic. Should kids be allowed to transition when they're under 18? Should be able to make that decision.
What does transitioning mean to you? If it means
Getting rid of their
if it means invasive surgery, no. If it means
surgery or hormones. Yes, those two things.
like if it means
block.
like irreversible hormones,
Yes.
that's up to the decision between the doctor and the patient. There are cases in which that is, you know, life saving. So like
So
potentially,
they do
also
say
a lot
it's
of
not
people go through
life-saving.
hormone therapy that is irreversible. That has nothing to do with transit. And what we saw when we stopped those is that the people who needed hormone therapy weren't able to get theirs anyway. So like these actions have consequences. But
So
regardless,
hold on a
and like
sec.
and
You're
if
saying life-saving.
transitioning as it is for most people is just like change their clothes and going by a different name, then
Hey,
absolutely they should be able to
I
do that.
agree with that. Believe me, I know a few people that. I, there's this one friend of mine. He is the weirdest of the weird. Trust me, and we have discussions all the time. But what I'm talking about is the one thing I do disagree with you on is I'm glad you're saying that at least you don't want altering things to, you're kind of a little against that. But you said that they save lives. They don't save lives. Most think about it. Big pharma is a huge problem in this country.
Big pharma
Can we
isn't
agree on that?
big pharma isn't gender affirming care. Those are two different. Yes, of course, and yes, there are
Okay.
medical people who just want to profit off this, of course,
And
and like plastic
I,
surgeons aren't like good people. Well, I mean,
yeah,
they can be,
I,
they can be.
so that's the thing where me as a conservative that I have an issue is that I want a kid to make their decision at 18 because like you can talk to a grandma. I just saw a video the other day where the grandma's like, yeah, I want my 13-year-old daughter to transition or whatever. And they're like, okay, yeah, she should be able to make a decision. They go, well, what about her getting a tattoo? And she goes, well, that's permanent. What? Like that's the bizarro world. It's permanent if you're getting puberty blockers or having something removed or having something changed that is a sex organ. That is what I have a problem with. If you want to change
Yeah,
after
kids
18,
can't do that.
do what you want.
It's not legal. Like kids can't get bottom surgery, and actually, kids
They
do get
do.
a lot of top surgery for breast like enhancements a lot of the time for underage kids, which I think is absolutely disgusting. Except like I mean, whatever.
I'm
Like
glad
they
you're
can talk to
saying
their
that.
doctor. But like I'm not going to limit like a person's freedom. I think they need to have very long
Who do you
conversations
consider
with
a
their
person?
doctors
Are you
about it.
talking a kid or are you talking the mom?
When a person, I mean any human.
Okay, so you're saying that let's say I'm 9. So
No,
there's a
invasive surgery should be like just straight up limited in that way. Like plastic surgery in general, like that's invasive, should be limited there.
agree.
But I'm saying like when we don't have to limit freedoms, we shouldn't be. And so if there are like if there are things that a kid can do for themselves, even if it is like surgery that is beneficial to them and that's like that isn't harmful, then they should be allowed to do it, even if I personally wouldn't.
you gotta think about this, okay? And if you can't agree with me on this, I don't think we'll ever see logically. So as a kid, I mean, I wore heels. I ate lipstick before. Please, I did all sorts of weird things. Most people in colleges can't even make their own decisions. You can't drink till you're 18. You can't join the military until you're 18. You can't or drink until you're 21 in some states, 18 in maybe others. I don't know. But there's so many things you can't do as a young person. But yet you can transition. That is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That a kid can transition and yet not be able to join the military or drink. Those things aren't even close to transition.
Again.
Transitions forever.
When we talk about transitioning, we're talking about very different things. And you can't get bottom surgery if you're that young. It's very hard to get top surgery, and you always have to be talking to a medical professional for a very long time to get any sort of this stuff. And for most kids who are transitioning, it's literally just going by a different name or different pronouns or
I
wearing
would
different
agree
clothes.
with you, but you know, in California, that the school system now keeps that from their parents.
Why?
And
Why do they do that? Why do they do that?
because you should let the parent know. Why do
Not
they
nec-
do that? You
Wait,
should never
no.
know.
should every parent know that their kid is transitioning? Isn't it dangerous for
I
some
will
kids
say
if their
this.
parents knew
I
that?
will say I will say this, and you're going to disagree with me with big time. Our institutions, and our institutions are pretty much liberal institutions. Now, I think our institutions brainwash kids. Now, you could say no, but
Well, sure, but like any form of education is technically brainwashing if you want to go down that route.
I'll give you that. But what I'm saying is our institutions push things so hard, and there's a story of a little 9-year-old boy that was taken from his father by his mother to transition, and the father couldn't stop it.
You're bringing up
That's
anecdotal evidence, which like you can't
anecdotal
have it.
evidence. What do you mean?
Anecdotal evidence, like personal experience, or just like one thing. It's not like
No,
data that was in use.
it's a huge story. It's a
No, but
huge
it's
story.
still an anecdote. Like
Okay,
anecdotal,
yeah.
there's a difference in anecdotal evidence and
I would
data.
agree. I'll agree with that. I'll agree
Is
with that.
yeah, as we make policy based on data. But like I'm a teacher, man. If I had time to radicalize my kids into gender theory, man, do you know how much more time I'd spend sleeping? Like, if we don't have the time to teach the kids the basic stuff, we don't have the funds
Hey,
to teach them the basic
I'm
stuff.
glad you're saying that. And number one, let me just say this: I appreciate you talking to me. We do disagree, but I haven't had a discussion with someone who thinks the way you do in a long time, where we both don't listen to each other. Even though you've rolled your eyes a few too many times, that drives me a little crazy. I do appreciate you having a discussion with me, and I think more of us need to have this discussion. Because let me just say this: it's hard as a conservative to hear people go racist, transphobe, xenophobe, this phobe, that phobe. It's like, is that all you can go to? You know what? Talk to me, because I actually know a lot of facts. And to be honest, like I said, just know this about me. I don't know my name's Dustin. I don't know what your name is.
I'm Ben. Nice to meet you.
Ben, nice to meet you, Ben. And I appreciate you having a discussion. Just know this, for everyone who's a liberal in your, that's listening or that's in your audience, just know this. A lot of my conservative friends, we have a very open door and we always want to talk. Lots of times people shut us down because they don't want to talk. They get very upset. And we appreciate a good discussion. And a lot of us, just know this, we all think Trump's a blabbermouth. It's like, shut your mouth, just shut up. We wish he would shut the hell up. And truthfully, if he goes away tomorrow, I have no problem with it. But I do like that Trump will tell me I have a booger on my face. He'll tell me he hates me. He'll tell me what I want to hear. And I do like that about Trump, whether you agree with him or not. I think he does pretty much say what's on his mind.
Can
The
I,
last thing, what's that?
I appreciate. Sorry, I was about to nitpick something, but like I appreciate we have to keep on going. Sorry.
The last thing I'll say is just know that we don't hate transgenders. We don't hate illegal immigrants. What we want is we care for kids, and we want the kids to not be damaged. That's it. Okay. Whether you disagree or on surgeries or stuff, we just want them to wait till they're 18 for the most part, my friends and I. Okay. And when it comes to immigrants, that the border was wide open.
Okay, my man. I'm sorry. I can't just let you like.
I was
ramble on
just
about
trying
this.
to tell. I was just trying to give you the end. What it's like in my life. Like being called a racist and stuff is just a joke to me. Because people call me racist. I'm like, what? You don't even know me. So anyway, I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Okay, so the first point about the open conversation, I agree with you. And like, I ran for office in Florida, and like in one of the rightest parts of the country, and actually shifted it right or left by 9 points against the national shift to the right, because I just talked to Republicans who were very willing to have open conversations. And like, we disagreed vehemently about a lot of stuff, that was like integral to ourselves. And yet we were able to have the conversation. And that's why I love doing this. And I love this community who likes people who actually want to talk and engage and have an open mind. So thank you everybody in the chat. I love you all, but not parasocially. And so I appreciate you coming on here like that. Now, we also, people were calling out in the chat that like we were agreeing a lot. We really were agreeing on a lot of things. And there were like specific things that we're disagreeing with about like when it's okay.
Hold on one sec. It's funny as I'm reading all the things, people love to say like, calls me a racist. Maybe you are racist. It's just Trump does this to hurts children.
Yeah, they're
every
chatters. They're
single
the
day.
worst. I hate my community. They're all terrible.
It's funny as I'm listening to these people. They're a bunch of idiots that don't know who I am or what's up. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
everybody on TikTok is like whatever. It's don't listen to anyone.
Yeah.
Do whatever. Okay. Anyway, what you said, like Trump will tell you when you have a booger in your face, that you like that he's like tells you what you want to hear. He does tell you what you want to hear, and that's the problem because he only tells you what you want to hear, but doesn't actually do it. Like you're right, conservatives usually have great values. They
Doesn't
usually
do it? How many-
Wait.
How many
let me finish.
policies has he
Oh
passed?
God, Trump. Oh, I called you Trump. You said in the beginning you didn't agree with everything he did. So on some level, you agree with that statement. Like we can talk about when he does do what you want and when he doesn't, but on some level, you agree with that statement. But what my conjecture is that he tells you what he's gonna do for you, and then he doesn't actually do it. And one of the reasons he won is because he called out the system as rigged, just like Bernie Sanders does, just like
It was rigged.
Zoran Mamdani. Yes, it is. I agree. And the Democrats were unwilling to call it rigged because they're still very beholden to their donors, just like the Republicans are. But the Democrats just aren't savvy about it. They won't even call them out.
Believe me,
which most Republicans won't either.
Republicans are a bunch of dummies. Democrats
course.
are much more. Go ahead.
And so Trump ran because he called out the system as rigged, and the Democrats pushed away the one person who was also doing that. But Trump is just rigging it more and for the billionaires. That's what the Tax Cut and Jobs Act was. That's what the Big Beautiful Bill is.
Come on, brother. So let's get to this real quick. And believe me, let's.
You know what? No. I'm sorry.
Wait. Let me just.
I brought this up. It's my fault. We can talk about this, but you've been on here for a while, and like I want to give other people a chance to call up.
Okay,
please call back another.
One last thing I want you to look into. One last thing. Okay. Right. Remember what I'm about to tell you. So
I'm
Trump
typing it in.
Trump was impeached for two things: colluding with Russia and having the call with Zelensky.
Yeah.
Okay. And they tried to prove it. Did they prove it? Even what's his name, Schumer, got up there and made a fake. He did a fake speech of what his phone call was with Zelensky, and it was a fake speech. Anyway, if you do research, you'll see that Joe Biden on camera says, if you don't quit investigating my son, I won't give you $1 billion. That's on camera, and he never got impeached for that. Obama, and it was on ABC News, NBC News, CBS.
Okay.
Obama was on camera telling the Russian president, I'll have more flexibility after the election. So two things that they tried to impeach Trump for, you guys were caught on camera doing it. So just know there's a lot of lying going on, and it happens on both sides. Trust me.
I'll look those things up in the chat. Don't just believe him. Look it up for yourself in the chat. I agree. There's a lot of lying going on both sides, and I think Trump 100% does the most lying out of anybody, potentially, honestly, in history.
Totally
but
disagree with you, but that's okay.
Yeah. All right. Have a good day, guy.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There's a lot there. Yeah, I need to get more in depth on my Russiagate history because a lot of people love to bring that up. I remember having a huge fight with my uncle in the car one time about the whole thing. That's when I actually knew the whole saga because it was happening at the time. But wow. The man, he said Bin Laden should be off. What? I don't even know what you're talking about right now. Yeah, a lot of his information was wrong, but a lot of everybody's information is wrong, except for mine. All of my information is correct 100% of the time. Yeah, that's been debunked. Obama didn't say that, probably. Guest wasn't deplorable. He just had some bad opinions, but that's not good. But he actually engaged in an open conversation. He wanted to talk. He talked through things. He responded to things I said. Maybe not picking up on exactly what I meant, but he still responded to things I said, and so I appreciate the conversation that we had. He watched too much Fox News. Actually, he said he didn't watch Fox News. All right. Thank you so much. Who's been in here for a long time? I'm going to get you up here soon, Mauricio. Thank you, M. Sizzy. You've been on here for a while. IL Cruz, Devin LH, Lola, and Diana. Thank you so much. And hey, Epi and TT, KF, and Vanessa. Oh, we have Chris P. Bacon. That's a fantastic name. All right, we're going to get Mauricio on here. Everybody, please give me a like, a share, and a follow. Thank you so much. Ooh, thank you so much for that gift. I really appreciate that. What is going on, Mauricio?
Oh, nothing much. Just here, How are you?
I'm doing great. So, do you support Trump?
Oh, No, I was just gonna say, I was just watching the stream and I thought it was pretty interesting. I've some, I don't know, I feel like a lot of the people so far, they seem to, well, especially like the last guy, he seemed to, he kind of like cherry picked specific like people from like groups, to kind of make them look like the entire population or like of that kind of group is like bad, which is just not right because the actions of one individual shouldn't speak for an entire population, and I think that's like what I feel like that's happening a lot lately. Do you feel the same way?
Oh yeah, of course. And if you want my answer for why, it's because we haven't funded education properly, and critical thinking is virtually non-existent in America nowadays. I mean, that's not entirely true, of course. A lot of people have very good critical thinking skills, but we haven't been taught them for a long time. We've been taught media literacy correctly. Most people don't know what anecdotal evidence means and why it's not as good as actual, statistical evidence. I think it's a failure of our education system to teach people how to think critically and analyze arguments.
Oh no, yes, I feel yeah very similar as well, and I think it's happening like a lot lately, especially with the lefts, like we Democrats and the right on the Republican Party. They always kind of seem to, when tragedies happen, which are happening a lot, especially in the past few months. There's been way too many shootings than there should be, and I feel like whenever they always try to find out which not organization, but like a political party they belong to or may support as a way to villainize the other. But obviously that's not the case, and I feel that that is just not letting us progress or come to any kind of like resolution to whatever the problem is.
Yep.
But
I hear you
yeah.
100%. Unfortunately, our two-party system is atrocious, and it just works for the betterment of the chairs of those parties. And even not so much. The chairs of the party that are doing very well. But look, I appreciate you coming up here. Are you involved locally wherever you are?
Locally, like in like politics?
Mhm.
Or like what?
Yeah, I mean, like, do you get involved
no,
in your
I'm just
local...
No, this is my first time ever talking about things like this. Yeah, I
So,
never been like on live
that's cool.
stuff.
Don't tell me, like, exactly where you live, but if you don't mind, around where do you live?
The States,
Okay, great. So,
Minnesota.
oh, Minnesota. Fantastic. Oh my God, there are fantastic people if you get involved with over Minnesota. If you go to a website called mobilize.us, mobilize.us, let me put it in the chat, you can find a bunch of awesome opportunities for you to get involved with really any kind of organization or political activism that you want to. You can meet a ton of people in your community, and I'm sure a bunch of them will have your same values, and then you can like work in your area and actually create the change that you want to see.
Okay, no, that does sound very good because I remember when you mentioned that the big beautiful bill, because I have an internship at this research center for it's actually about cancer one, you know. But I mean, I'm not no expert, so I can't really answer you really hard, difficult questions. So I just remember my boss or my PI, he did mention it cut like our funding or across the country by like 40%, which I think is very, not good, obviously,
Jesus
because it's
Christ.
something that should definitely be worked on, especially, because it's important,
Yeah.
But
All right.
I don't know. I
Well,
just thought, these people were interesting.
yep. I appreciate you coming up. Have a great day, man.
Thanks. You too.
Okay. Just so y'all know, we are also live on YouTube right now. We have, guess what? Drumroll, please. We have a total of, oh my God, where is it? 12 views on YouTube. I'm just starting up my YouTube channel. It's Ben Braver again, I think. Or, God, what is it? No, it's Braver Politics, maybe. I should know that. But everybody on here should go check that out after liking, subscribing, and sharing this content. No, it's Ben Braver again. All right. Between love and hate by the Strokes. Don't know what that means. There should be zero crime here. Unfortunately, this isn't a fairy tale. We are not living in a fairy tale, unfortunately. Can we get more people on here who hate me and want to tell me why I'm stupid about everything? Because right now we've just been having very nice people on here, and I want people to tell me why I should join the Trump train. Why Trump is the best president ever. Okay, never mind. I want to hear why Trump has helped somebody, because I have never heard like an actual, legitimate story of Trump. Oh my God, I just got a new subscriber on YouTube. Thank you, whoever just went to my YouTube and did that. I was distracted. Nobody's ever been able to give me a good reason to support Trump. Every single time, it just comes down to either he talks the way I like, which I don't think is a good enough reason to support a man who actually harms you, or he harms the people I want harmed, which I don't think is a good thing. I think our president should be focused on helping people, not harming a specific subsect of the people. The Onion just posted a 21-minute video on Jeffrey Epstein. I am very excited to watch that later. I can do that if you want. I'll play devil's advocate. I appreciate that, KF, but I would destroy you anyway. But thank you very much. All right, guys. You don't need bad faith debaters. You're in debate culture. No, well, that too, but I don't think you're trying to be actually bad faith. Do you realize that many people who voted for Obama 2 times voted for Trump later? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a real big problem. But you know why? Obama promised that he'd be a super progressive candidate, that he'd change the system. He had a populist message up front, and people believed him. And then, Bush left him with the financial crisis of 2008. And who did Obama side with? The people? No, the banks. And so people fell out of love with Obama. They didn't see him as a big change maker. They didn't see him as on our side. They see him as a little bit on our side and on the bank's side. And so they saw Trump as this guy saying, the system's rigged against you. It's unfair, and I will be your savior. And they loved that. That was a good message. It hit them where they live because, yeah, the system is rigged against them. But what's Trump doing? Just rigging the system further against them. So, yeah, Obama made promises. He didn't fulfill them. Trump made even grander promises and fulfilled them in even worse ways. He was the best president in my lifetime. Are you talking about Obama? Because honestly, except for the last year of Biden, it might have been Biden. He didn't deport as many people. He got us out of that recession, out of the COVID without in a recession. He appointed some of the best judges. He did some of the most progressive legislation. I don't love him, and he could have been a lot better, especially with Gaza. But he wasn't the worst. My theory is that they're indeed loving neighbors as themselves, but they hate themselves and everyone. Are you talking about Republicans? Because I think I know what you mean right there. Everybody believes they're a good person, and they're good people to those who they care about and who they are communal with. But when it's people they don't care about or aren't communal with or see as a threat to themselves, well, they start lashing out. And even people who claim to have these deeply held religious values will still lash out. Biden was second best. Yeah. Well, I assume you had two Democratic presidents in your lifetime, in which case it would have to be that. Crispy bacon. All right. It looks like we've scared off all the Trump supporters. So I am going to do the worst thing ever and get a little bit of rest. I want to thank you all. I'm 29. Don't think we've had a good president the whole time. Yeah, maybe. I want to thank you all for coming on the stream. I want to thank you all for subscribing and sharing and gifting and giving me $1,000. Thank you all very much for doing that. You're now contractually obligated to do so. And I hope you all have a fantastic night. See you later.